Here we are, back again, week to week. I'm really happy with how consistent we've been with this podcast.
I thought you were about to make a poem there. Here we are, back again, week to week. This my friend.
Sitting cheek to cheek.
Anyway.
And
what'd you just say at the end there? I'm excited about what?
I'm just happy with how consistent we've been with the podcast. Week to week.
Oh, we were doing pretty good. So
we were.
I know. That's why I was like, I'm actually happy with
Story
it.
of our lives.
I honestly
we were
thought
doing
we
pretty
would.
good.
I thought we were just gonna make it to like 6, to be honest.
And we made it till
14.
I don't remember. Whatever this one is, we made it till right before it. So
but we made this one.
So this one is.
This is the epitome. I'm so sorry, but this is the epitome of how we do Brecky Breck.
That's what I was saying.
We don't ever
Story of our
drop
lives.
it. Yeah, it's not like we gave up on it.
Everything.
We're just.
Yeah. It's like we just
it's
don't.
Always open ended.
It's just like, oh, remember that thing? That was fun. Oh yeah, we should do that.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Yes.
Anyway,
this is gonna take too long. Probably should have waited.
Oh no, it's
My
good.
bad.
We're gonna podcast and tell. So today is a special episode. Are you done with your friends?
No, but that's okay.
Oh, you can do it. I can entertain.
I just have a lot of different friends that I was just like really excited.
I wish I had that many friends that were excited about me. No, I would.
No,
anyway.
I'm excited about them. I take a lot of random videos of my friends doing life.
Yeah.
And then I was like scrolling through and looking back and like seeing like moms talking to each other and anyway, it's really sweet. And I'm just like, oh man, I just love my friends. I'm proud of them.
That's cool. Cool.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
Side tangent.
That's the story of our lives. Anyway, so we are looking at Breck's computers right here. It's got a very important stat pulled up. Not very important. It's just like
You're going to turn the computer toward it?
So we are looking at our subscribers, and we are 50 subscribers away from 100,000 subscribers. That's a silver play button, which is crazy. For a number of reasons. So I figured I was like,
take a picture.
I know, right? So I was like, hey, we should do a podcast because I've been wanting to bring the lights back home and podcast more anyway. We should do a podcast while we're watching the subscriber count go up. And the way that our subscriber count grows is
this is not going to work out timing wise.
What are you talking about? It's like an hour.
It's like one every
in an
3
hour.
minutes.
In an hour, we'll have it. Just don't watch it. You don't like this kind of progress. You don't do good at this.
I don't.
Anyway, so that's the epitome of Brecky Breck. Anyway, this is very. Oh no, the whole point was to be like.
Fine. No, it's cool. It's
just
cool.
Ignore it.
No, I am. It's not
like celebrate. Let's be excited.
What the heck? Anyway, okay.
What?
That's nothing. It's great. No, I'm excited. This is great. This is very cool. I'm excited about it.
Oh yeah, let's just be glass half full kind of people for a moment.
Yes.
Come over to my side of the glass.
Oh, wow.
Try
Look
it
at
out.
this place.
It's fun.
Nothing bad ever happens here.
Right? So anyway, it's been, I was going to look that up. It's been 4 months since we did a podcast. 5 months?
Oh, yeah.
5 months?
Yeah.
So let's catch up.
Yeah.
Last we talked, we had just given the dogs back.
Okay. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
And then we've had 2 dogs since then. Ruger and then Butter. But Butter was a quick
dog sat. 2 dogs since then, yes.
4 dogs.
Clarify.
Total.
We had 2 dogs. They both passed away since then.
Stop.
I'm just saying. That's the way you made it sound.
Pass them on.
Yes.
Back to the owner.
So, it is June 9th?
Don't know.
June 9th. It's June.
Gideon's birthday. June 8th.
Yeah.
June,
so we have a friend,
June 8th.
a family friend who had a birthday today.
Yeah.
Anyway, so June 8th?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's June 8th, and yeah, we've been, a lot has happened.
Yep, you're right. Sorry, that was loud. And
Anyway, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it.
Yes.
Anyway, so I was thinking, this was 2 days ago. I was like, man, I like get my head down. I'm like I get stressed out. I get anxious about like the stuff that I'm working on, and I'm not doing enough, and there's something over there that I'm not doing, and I get this like pattern or the cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, there's nothing holding me back from doing the things that I love, and well, that's not true. There are things holding me back that I need to get rid of, and like even thinking about like filming and like doing that kind of stuff, it's like I have those opportunities right now, and I need
Filming what?
Like just filming stuff. Like I want to film, I want to tell stories, I want to do, I want to tell stories. That's what every like YouTuber says. Like I just want to tell a good story. But it's like true. I do want to tell a good story. I think capturing experiences is something that I appreciate, and that goes for Brecky Breck. Like that's the piece that I appreciate, is like being able to tell a story. Do I like all the pieces that have to like come together and make that happen? No, not necessarily. But I do appreciate kind of the story element of that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I think podcasting is a fun, unique way to tell a story, even if it's just processing. And I text you yesterday and I said, frame this, because I always have these like things that I tell you and you're like, remember you said, ugh,
yeah.
So I said, frame this one.
Which I loved that one. I was like, I will frame this one.
I will frame it. So I said.
You won't though. And then you'll tell me to reframe some different one in a month from now.
That's, important too. Change your mind. What did I say?
And then being married to you.
Okay, frame this text. I want to, this is kind of getting into a lot of stuff here. I want to travel full time, film Brecky Breck and Adventures with Breck, podcast, and go adventures with our kids. Like that's all I want to do.
I want to do that too.
Okay, deal. Let's go. We're almost there.
My question there, though, is it okay for you to put all of your eggs in me and our children's basket? What do I mean by that? I mean that when we are having a bad day and we're having a hard time... It just went backwards by one.
Somebody unsubscribed.
Someone subscribed and then was like, wait, I didn't actually want to subscribe to this.
No, that's fine. No. Don't look at it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're having a bad day. We got an argument.
Yeah, and then you're like, see? Oh, they changed their mind again. We can't do this. If you guys are going to be like this, you kind of threaten us. You hold this over our head like I have to be on my best behavior so Daddy will want to include me in his work life.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of pressure.
I don't do that directly. There's been a couple times that has been communicated. Mm-hmm. Like legit.
Yes.
Like 2 times.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, with that text being, it's like full-time traveling and all that. Like, that all sounds like a blast, but it's like.
Yeah. So what I say when I think about that, it's like, I want to grow what Brecky Breck is.
Yeah.
I want to grow the team. Mm-hmm. So I'm not just doing all of it. Part of it is like all of it's on me. I'm realizing even with like these BMX videos that like I'm taking on, being able to hand that off to an editor.
Yeah.
Is
huge.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Because it's like I can have a stressful week or day, be stressed out about like things that are in front of me, and then I get a text today with this video that's done and edited, and it's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm thinking about that.
That was like a shout out to the editor,
Yeah.
Not that he watches these, but.
Yeah, he may edit them. Anyway, so
what is there to edit?
So like that text is like, how can I focus all of my attention on moving in that direction? Mm-hmm. And I think like I get hung up on like all these little side quests. And so that was even like this decision to not go to Spokane this weekend was like, like we just keep doing these like we force this little stuff.
Yeah.
And it takes away from the big stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can we work towards the big stuff while still enjoying it, but not force all this little stuff? And I even think about that with like client work. It's like I get to a point where I'm like, I just need some money. So I'd like kind of open myself up to like all this annoying little client work. And I'm like, I wish I didn't do that. So, so anyway, so I'm thinking about like, one of the things I wanted to talk about today was like our equipment and like, we haven't. So when we first started Brecky Breck, this camera that we're using right now has been the camera the whole time. And the funny thing is, I had an employee at Collab. He was my assistant, and he had a camera that he was selling. And so I made 2 payments to him because I couldn't even afford all of it right away. And I'm pretty sure I was like late with one of them.
Oh my gosh. We didn't pay him for the camera for like 8 months. And his
I don't
camera
think
was
like
that long. It's $800 camera.
Yeah, it was $400
It wasn't even
payments.
that expensive.
Yeah.
And we're over here like could barely make payments to this.
Okay. Jeez.
I mean, come on. Like that is really starting from the bottom up, Not that we've made it by any stretch.
Anyway, the point is we still have the same camera.
Yeah.
We have never upgraded this camera. I had a friend who let me borrow his camera. Actually, for 2 different episodes, we had borrowed a camera from other videographers. The smoothie episode in Arizona, we used the South camera.
Oh, okay.
And that's why that was crisp and clear and nice.
Yes.
And then
the
the marketplace episode was with Matt's camera, Sony S3. So those were nice cameras, and it's crazy how like just automatic it is. It just is an automatic difference. Like I don't even have to like, with our camera, I'm like doing all these tricks with editing, color grading and stuff, and it still just looks crummy. And then you just shoot like with a nice camera and a nice lens, and it's like, oh, okay. So what's funny is like I think like our camera is $800. Like how much of a difference could it make? But I realized not only was our camera $800, it's also
super old.
It's maybe
our
7, 8 years old.
Our iPhones could
That's
shoot
what I'm
a better
saying.
video than our camera at this point.
Anyway, so that being said, there's a lot that it's crazy. I shared with somebody at the BMX practice tonight that we're this close to 100,000 subscribers because we were talking about Brecky Breck, and like he was just like laughing about meeting you and stuff, like when he met you a long time ago and realized like who you were. Anyway, so there I was at the BMX track, and I pulled up in the BMX episode to just show like the stats. I was just sharing that with him, and the like how much money we made off of it like came up too. So I was like, oh yeah, and there, like that's a lot of times people are just kind of curious about that. So I was just kind of like, yeah, there's the BMX episode. So for 19 million views, our most viewed video, we made. Do you know how much we made off of it?
No.
Hey, what's your guess?
$4,000.
$5,000. Yeah.
Close.
Which is like, oh sweet, $5,000. That's our most viewed video. Like.
How long ago was it posted?
And it was posted 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like, so if every video made 5,000, awesome. But like that's our most viewed video. That's like by far. So it's like maybe we have a few that are like in the 3,000 mark. Most of our videos probably make us $800.
When though? Like you're saying.
Oh yeah,
like,
over the course of it's right away it makes us like $10 for like the first 6 months. We made $10 on it. So anyway, so I just bring that up because like this camera, there's a reason why we haven't upgraded the camera, and it's because there's so many other things that go up that come up that it's like, all right, we need this, we need hard drives, we need SD cards, we need
we need to feed our kids.
Our microphone. Well, obviously all of that. I'm talking about even just production itself alone.
Right.
So it's like the camera. It's like, do we have a camera that works? Yep. Okay, that's on the back burner. So.
And then you look at that camera, like I see it sitting on a countertop somewhere, and I'm like, if it breaks.
Oh, like because it's our only.
We're
thing.
Screwed.
I don't know. Part of me feels like if it breaks, it'll make us get more.
You could just use your phone, right?
Or it'll just make us get more like intentional about replacing
that would be Yes. Yeah, no.
So like even this microphone, it's like it's good enough, but even for this podcast, it's the wrong type of microphone for this podcast.
Right.
Like we need to have a different type of microphone. So we're like trying to talk close to it, and then I have to like edit in post. So it's like there's so many small things when you're a creator that start to add up.
Yeah.
That aren't necessary up front, but that become necessary for progression. That it's just like, oh man, it's overwhelming. So especially having a kids channel that. Like the ad rates are so low on it, so it's like we make $2,000 a month off the channel basically is what we do. Sometimes we have a better month than that, but to like be getting 5 million views a month and like have the watch time that we have, it's not like shorts. Like
5 million views
a month.
No, isn't it 5? We're at like 500,000 in 48 hours.
5 million views a month is like our average.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah. So. That being said, like if we were getting those same views and we were like, just like a family vlog or something and weren't a kids channel, we'd be doing like $30,000 a month instead of $2,000. So we were talking about how it's like kind of a blessing, like to not make all that money.
Slow pace.
It's easy to say that because we don't have it, but like there is this reality of like it makes you just really process what we're doing. If we would have like taken off right away and started making a bunch of money, it's easy to just kind of put your head down and do the thing that makes money. So I think, for us to stick in it this long and to be approaching 100,000 subscribers, 5 years after starting the channel.
Yeah, it took a long time.
I think that there's like an appreciation that I have, at least, for like that tug and pull that we continually have of like, what do we want out of this? So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Nice.
it's been a journey, and I'm I'm excited and happy about like where it's brought us and like where we're going with it. And I just continue to kind of go on that journey of what do I want out of it. And you know, we talk about growing up with the channel, you know, like me, like
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like every time that I just meet the little guys, I just have a heart for like little ones, and that I'm just
Yeah.
having a hard time. Like I don't
think we need to grow up. I think that
Yeah.
the conversation I've had is add it, like it's an additional thing.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I can do that. I just want to, like, for me, in my heart,
Yeah.
like, I want to prioritize those little guys.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely. Well, I think there's a dual benefit of like adding an additional show. So we've talked about, I don't know if we haven't talked about it on the podcast.
No.
But we've talked about adding a show like called like Adventures with Breck, or I came up with one that was kind of fun the other day. And I didn't write it down.
No, it's, grow up. What do I want to be when I grow up?
No, that's
Something.
the Brecky Breck series.
Oh.
Like I want that to be a Brecky Breck series.
Oh.
Like little toddlers
yes, yes.
say like, I want to be a firefighter when I grow up, and then you like respond to it and then go to a fire station, talk to a firefighter about what it's like from the perspective of a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
No, but it was something like oh man, I don't even think I wrote it down. Dang it. I never don't write something down. That's never.
I know. Look
That's
at you.
so weird.
Look at you
That's
digressing.
the thing I don't remember.
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, it was really cool. It was like the best name ever. Whatever.
Obviously.
It was. No, but it's like, yeah, Adventures with Breck, something to that effect. And the idea would be like it's a documentary style video for kids and families.
Yes.
So it's something that like you're taking the bow and the glasses off, you're talking to someone like as if it's Miles' age. It's like a 10-year-old.
I love the idea of a documentary style thing because number one, taking an audience, which it's gonna be tricky because like when I filmed the Monster Truck episode, literally every episode, when you film it, we got to hang out with the crew all day long and see all the blood, sweat, and tears they put into it. And that alone was, like, incredible. And I was like, how do I tell that story? Because that was, like,
Yeah.
first of all, you don't get to see the behind the scenes, you know, all that work. And it's so fun to, like, see these guys manhandle these giant tires. And we tried to, like, tell the story in that 30-minute long Monster Truck episode. But it was just, like, wow, like how do you make a documentary that like takes me as the character Brecky Breck but like kind of points me at the people behind the scenes to where like the kids are interested in the people and they kind of become like, you know, attached to learning about people to where when they grow and, you know, they have questions about things that they're not afraid to ask the adults that they're meeting or interacting with, and like they're intrigued and care about the time that they're spending doing their job. And that was the same for the newspaper. It was like anytime that you can like help tell that story, I just feel like, oh, that would be cool, and I'm inspired by.
Well, and it's not just the reason why I like it is it's like you and I learned a lot and were fascinated by that.
Yeah.
And so by doing something that is one step removed from toddler and Brecky Breck, it's something that like a parent could theoretically sit down and watch with their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the opposite of like how we watch documentaries. It's more for the kids, but something that an adult
that would
could
be
follow
the tricky
along.
part is like how do I keep this engaging for little ones, but also like.
But the nice thing is we would
tell
have
the story of the
right. So the goal with it would be we'd stop Brecky Breck.
Yeah.
So when we film, Monster Trucks, for example, my goal would be to like schedule a few days with them, not just this one day where we have to bust it out. It's like have a production schedule with them. Day one, we like tour and we just mic everyone up, just get an idea and kind of tour and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Day two, we film Brecky Breck. and it's you kind of have an idea what's going on, but we're still building rapport. Day 3, we built rapport and we're comfortable, and so the documentary interactions can be really special. And that's what happens is the longer we're with someone, by the end of it, we're so connected.
It's really
we can laugh. We
interesting.
know what we can ask for, the different questions we can kind of plug into it.
Yeah.
And so by having like a multi-day production and ending with the intimacy of what a documentary could be, I feel like you and I and like our personal or like our communication skills with people and like being able to like interact with people, you know, in like we're inducing intrigue, right? And so there's something about that is special when sharing a story. And I just think about like you and I. Anyway, regardless whether there's a camera, it's like we're interested in someone's story.
We try to be really intentional with the people that we interact with every day.
I think it could be a really special thing. And we watched that Michelle Carre, how do you say it?
Yeah, Carre, I think. I'm not sure.
Her garbage truck episode, and it was just such like an emotional, inspiring video.
Yeah, it started out with like a problem, you know, and then it had a solution at the end, and it was like, but it just took you on this emotional journey of attachment.
Yeah, the storytelling was good, but I think it was like the honor and the pride and the
of the garbage truck workers.
Of the workers.
Yeah.
You just like me, not even associated with that industry, and it was in California or something. It's like it's not even my area or something.
Yeah.
But there was something about like being able to hear like this is their lives, this is what they do, and there was an appreciation I had after that video. Yeah. And it instantly made me go like, we can do that for kids. Yeah. We already do that. We already do that. Yeah. We already go shadow someone. We learn their job. All of the questions we ask when we're not rolling for Brecky Breck are literally amazing documentary questions. Like if we just had someone mic'd up, and you know, I think about even our garbage episode, and that the guy that we were touring with, I was like, man, if we had that mic'd up and just recorded that, well, like that alone is like a fun.
Because he was talking about like how sad it makes him to see all these things that are like, oh man, I could use that at my house, like and you're just dumping it here at the
and this is his life. Like he's been working here for 40 years. This is his life. He comes here every single day. He spends more time here than he does with anybody else. Yeah,
he's talking about losing heart and humanity because people are just wasting things. And it was, I know.
It's inspiring.
Yeah,
and you and I are inspired by that. And we're like, man, this would be so fun to share that. Yeah. Anyway, so that's my goal, I think, in this next season. And why I say frame this is because, like, if I can get to that point, if I can figure out a way to, when you get to that, like I want to get a new camera. I want to get certain things that make it like I don't need the most expensive camera, but I want stuff that kind of meet a minimum threshold. Audio is so important. When you have a buzz in your audio right now, our lapel mic is broken. There's something about it. And honestly, I think it's the import on our camera. I don't think it's the lapel mic. Oh. And so there's a buzz, and so everything that we film with that has a buzz, and it just ruins it. Yeah. And it completely ruins it. And it's like, man, we need to get this replaced. So it's like to be able to have like the gear grab confidence, like to know like, oh, we're good, you know. And so it's like we've done it enough now to where I know what is kind of necessary to get to that threshold, and so now I kind of have this like, you know, list of stuff that's like, man, if we can get to this, then we can start telling this story. That being said, we still need to like figure out how we're going to work towards that direction. But I don't know. It's difficult. So
yeah. Did you have questions that you were?
What's been new? How's school going? What was today?
Just like the.
Yeah, I didn't write anything down. I was just going to try to go. So we're at. By the way, we're at 99,959 subscribers. We got up to 99,962 at one point.
I know.
We're going down.
Yeah, I don't know how these things work.
Anyway, so today was the last day of your co-op with the kids. Yep. How was that?
It was good. We went camping with some friends last night. I called it fake camping because I showed up at 9:30 in the morning. We were the first ones there. We actually reserved a spot for our friends. But we hung out there from 9:30 to around 10 to 11. We stayed till 11 o'clock at night. And so our kids were exhausted. Mm-hmm. So then we woke up and everyone was tired, and I had to get them ready and out the door for OPHC, and yeah, and then they were just like so set because we were going back to the campground after, and so they kind of were like, let's just go now, like, and I was like, come on, really treasure like this is the last time that you're gonna be at OPHC because we're moving, so it's like it was one of those things where I was like, come on. But anyway, so it was a little
how
bit
was
of
your experience with this school year? It
was great. I honestly, like, I want to call it like an interim into, like, it was like a step above what I'd been doing, but not as much as I want to do.
Yeah.
And so it was like a good,
in terms of like schoolwork and stuff?
Schoolwork and just, challenging my kids to stick with things and myself to stick with things. And
right.
So it was good. Even the car ride to OPHC, I was like, hey guys, like, I'm really proud of you. Like, I was like, we've done a lot of hard things that we didn't, I didn't know, we've been consistent. We haven't missed a lot. We've been, you guys have gotten through a lot of the curriculum that I ordered. And anyway, so it was cool.
You had to learn how to take a test.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was hard.
That wasn't the... Anyway, so yeah, so it was fun. It was good, and I'm proud of our kids, and I'm excited about. I think for me, it was like I learned a lot about myself and like what I can do and what I want to do with them, and give them the freedom to own of their education, and realizing like I'm like a couple of our kids are like, they just take it by the horns themselves and they just want to do it, and they they read at night and they write letters and they do these things, and then there are others that just don't want to do certain things. So trying to figure out how to inspire growth in each of your kids is difficult, but I'm excited about it, and I'm already like, I'm excited. I'm just really excited about where we are and what's coming. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'm excited because like we definitely and I don't know, this could be like something to process too, but like there's something about like when we traveled, it gave us experiences to reflect on and grow from. Mm-hmm. And when you're not having experiences to reflect on and grow from, then it's like when you're that type of person, it's like it feels like you're like
sedentary.
Yeah, like going through slog, yes. You're bogged down.
You're in a pond. No.
Anyway, so I definitely don't want to just like move forever to like keep having experiences, but there is something about challenging yourself and growing and inquiring to people, and when you're having experiences, like even thinking about the nature of even this concept with the podcast. It's mm-hmm. like if we were to podcast every week and week to week is just kind of the same thing, it's like we don't really have much to talk about, but it also is a reflection of like we didn't, it's like, oh yeah, life's, good. It's like,
right.
What are we doing that is, like challenging us, challenging our family, and especially I think during this season for our kids, it's like consistency is good, and I think there's a place for that, but there's also like finding that balance of like how can you continue to like provide experiences for them to grow. Mm-hmm. And so by traveling or doing new stuff, it kind of stimulates all of that. So yeah, I'm excited about that, and I like even think about the podcast specifically, and it's like, man, if we're having new experiences every week, that incentivizes conversation between you and I, mm-hmm. which then makes it like, I want to take this to the podcast. And I feel like there's like just this last 5 months have blown by just because it's like, we haven't really done a lot, we've done a lot of biking.
Yeah.
But that's kind of it. Like if you tried to like sum up what we did here at the house, it's like, just kind of like,
we
it was
moved
fun.
our bed outside.
Yeah. We moved our bed outside. The kids demolished their Lego set and are rebuilding it.
Oh man, that is a story in itself, is it not?
Yeah, go ahead. What happened with the Legos?
I mean, I would love to hear your perspective of what happened. I mean, you were down here, but were you paying attention?
I heard
you had
the conversations like a few days leading up to it.
Okay. So the kids have been... So let's just preface this with, when we say Lego Town, our kids have Lego sets that have... Well, you don't do that. Our kids have Lego sets, like a police station.
Of our room. Look at that yellow wall.
That's... Okay.
Whoa. Behind the scenes.
Anyway, our kids have a town, police station, a marketplace. They have actual, like, my parents bought Briar like a treehouse set that was like really expensive, and we have like castles, and like these are sets that they've built, and then they've put roads down, and then they put those sets side by side by side, so it's actually built like official Lego cities, and they have people walking on, and it has grown into this giant massive thing. It had grown into it. So
because they started it a year ago.
Year and a half, yeah.
And then they kept getting, for birthdays and Christmases, they got all of their stuff.
Yep.
And then they would just add and like build onto it.
Yep.
So it was like something that it's like there's never a point
there
where
was
you
never
want
an
to take away from
incentive
it.
to like destroy a set because they had a place for it. They had a purpose for it. We
and
were
like,
pretty
even if
intentional about buying sets that were like the city brand.
Or even if it was like this castle or something, it's like they wrote it into the narrative of their story.
Yeah, so that's why the castle's on an island away from... Anyway, so it's just interesting. And they kind of lost interest in Legos for a while. Like, it kind of got, like, stale.
Yeah.
And they finally were like, I mean, we're talking like 4 months of being stale. Since Christmas.
3 months.
Since Christmas.
No, they're definitely building after Christmas.
Okay.
I would say 3 months.
3 months? Okay,
yeah.
So 3 months of
and stale is like they played, but not like they were.
No, yeah.
It was like, maybe once a day, a couple of kids come in and like check on the city,
maybe,
basically.
yeah. So all this to say, they decided they had a talk and decided that they were going to destroy their city and rebuild. And so one morning, wake up, I come downstairs, it's destroyed. And Briar, she comes to me while they're breaking apart buildings, and I kind of am like, inside I'm like, because we've paid a lot of money for like the market that had like carts and shop, like, and like, but they're just taking everything apart and mixing it all up. So anyway, I was kind of like a little bit like, ooh, but I just was straight face. Kylan's down here, literally right in this seat, working on his computer with his ear pods in, not listening. And Briar breaks apart something into the Lego box, and she goes, Mom, we're breaking apart our city. We're rebuilding. Like, don't be mad. And I was like, oh, okay. And I look at her, and she's like, just like tears start welling up, and she turns from like, huh, and then like, what are we doing? And starts crying. And I look at her, and I'm like, oh, honey, is that hard? And I rub her back. She's crying. And then I look at Maverick, and I was like, how are you feeling, bud? And he's like, I thought this was a good idea, but I don't know. And so Greta starts crying. Miles is the only one that's like, guys, it's fine, it's fine. Miles was the one that kind of encouraged everyone to like get into it. So long story short, I said to them, I was like, you guys, this is great. This is a great example of what it's like to even move. When you move, you're leaving all the fun, places and your connection with what that was for that season. But you can still, like, there's so much more to be made, so many more memories to be made, such a future to be built. Now you're not constrained to this. Now you get to, like, do things in a whole new way, which is exactly what they're doing. They don't have, like, they're each separate house. Miles and Maverick are living together. But it's just, like, totally just blew the roof off of their creativity again. And now it's, like, they're coming down every day, every morning, come downstairs, and they're starting to just continue to build and add. And it's really cool. But I told them in that moment, I was like, this is really important that you guys cry, like that you grieve the loss of that. Like, that's great. That's healthy. You should shed some tears. Let's take a few more minutes, shed some tears. Like, it's okay to be sad.
Right.
And then let's keep building. This is exciting, And they did. So they cried for a little bit, and then they built on, and now they're really pumped about it. They're all excited.
Well,
and
each of them kind of had to go through their own version. Like each kid is different, right?
Yeah.
And like Miles was he's kind of been in charge, almost, kind of like the mayor of the town, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how he's established himself. And so like
and I don't even think that it's been on purpose. I think the kids have just continued to put him as that position.
Well, and he just kind of takes ownership. So he had this idea, so he was able to kind of process it already. Like he had been thinking about it, and so him and I were talking about it in the truck like a couple days prior, and he's like, I think I want to do this. So he had already kind of like made that decision.
Sure.
And so it's like they all kind of went through
convincing the siblings to do it alongside him.
But what's cool is like some of the kids that took it the hardest, like we did like best part and worst part of the day a couple days later, and like one of the kids was like, my best part of the day was waking up and going downstairs and playing Legos. Like it's like there's a new
it's re-energized. It's
and
new
they have a whole new theme, like a whole new like perspective. So they found like excitement, and they get to share that excitement together. It's
funny too because they even found renewal in like over the last year and a half they've aged and had children and like added. And so by the time they were done with that old city, Miles was 30 years old. He had 4 children, all this stuff. And now that they've restarted, Miles is like, I think I just want to be like a 12-year-old and I don't want to be myself. I want to play a different character. And it's just funny because it's just like, and then they all kind of adjust to each other because Maverick's like, well, I also want to be younger than you still and all this. But it's just cute. I'm just like, I love that mentality of what we've talked about with moving and exploring and traveling is like, there's so much more excitement to be had always, right. Not that you should be chasing your next high constantly, but there's this element of like renewal that just breathes life,
right.
Like it's just like it's spring, summer, fall, all the seasons, it's like that's what seasons do. And it was just such a great healthy moment for our kids to like go through that, because I know that next year, in years to come, I'll be able to use that whole example as a reflection piece for like, hey, look at our family, look what you guys experience with your Legos, and how can we apply that to our life, to come. And it's just exciting for me, and I just love that about our kids and the conversations that we have. Like it's just so I love the relationship that I have with our kids. I really do. And even, at the campground today, we had 17 children trying to play basketball together. When you try to break 17 children into 2 teams, that is too many kids on a basketball court. And when you have a lot of older kids and then little tiny guys, not everybody gets to touch the ball ever.
Yeah.
Well, we had like a 5-year-old there, Isaac. Like we had a couple 5-year-olds that wanted to play, or 6. They're 6 anyway. So it was rough. So I was there trying to like help manage that, and I ticked a couple kids off by taking reins. But I pulled one of our kids aside and explained why I was doing what I was doing. And once I was able to explain what I was doing, he was like, "Oh, I can get behind you then, and now I'm going to help you get this accomplished because I see the purpose and the plan for it."
Right.
And that sounds like a great idea. But again, that communication that I have with that, with our kids allows for this like beautiful, like, let me help you with my tools and you help me with your tools, and we can put them together and be successful in playing, or whatever.
Well, and there's always, what I can appreciate about our relationship with our kids is like, and maybe this is my relationship with our kids, is like there's kind of a natural perspective that we take on as humans, and then there's like the force, or then there's like you kind of have to like take a step back to go like, what really matters, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like we all humans always kind of fall into this like competitive, frustrated, responsive, whatever that is. But it's like you have to be really intentional to take a step back and go like, what's the purpose here? What's the point here? So like even the kid, from the school that like slapped Maverick yesterday in the face, there was an element of like, tell me the full story. Okay, do you guys kind of like see like this kid wasn't just out to get people? He's searching for something and has a problem. And not that you have to like sit and take a shot in the face for no reason. But there's something about like recognizing you can love on people, and maybe there was opportunities to love on this kid up to the point where he got slapped on the face.
Well, and that was
would have
something,
maybe changed the dynamic.
Well, and that was something Maverick mentioned too. He was like, Mom, after you walked away, and that kid I had that kid apologize because you can't just hit random strangers in the face. Like, that's pretty crazy. But after I walked away, Maverick apologized to him for Maverick essentially was like doing like a slow clap, like out of disrespect to him, and the kid just reacted with a smack in the face really hard. And Maverick has
and that was the first thing I said was like, Maverick probably was doing something to warrant, not deserve, but warrant getting a slap.
Sure. Yeah. But regardless, Maverick was able to see the empathy of that kid apologizing. He was able to go, like, I didn't feel good about the fact that this kid had to apologize to me when I probably deserved, I needed to apologize also. So he was able to do that and told me about it later. But yeah, I don't know. I just... And that's the other thing. I just love being a part of our kids' life so closely that I can help walk them through growth, and I'm experiencing at the same time. And that's the hardest thing, is trying to grow up, and I still throw fits, essentially, that I have to figure out how to navigate, and I'm just not good at it. It's hard to be super patient and loving and gentle and have a good tone and... Right.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's frustrating. I mean, for me, and I know, and I know, like you can, you have a different perspective and personality, and you're able to operate out of a different tool bag. Essentially, is how it feels sometimes. And I kind of look at, like, how did you even get those tools in there, and how do you keep them in there? Yeah. That's frustrating for me sometimes. Yeah. And I'm learning how to navigate it. So. Yeah.
Navigate your frustration or navigate those
trying to navigate tools. Navigating how to find the unfound tools. I don't know how to get them and then make them mine. I gotta Sharpie my name on them and have them stay in the bag. And that's a hard thing to do.
I mean, wouldn't the point be to like share your tools?
I guess, but I want to be able to have it all personally.
Yeah, I get it. I have a proposition.
Okay.
We take a break.
Yes.
Eat some food. Hang out. Bond a little bit, and come back when we're closer to 100,000 subscribers.
Okay. I knew this was too soon.
Oh, and we're back. I think we started too soon.
Yeah.
They were just kind of...
I'm really tired.
Anyway, so we're just going to capture the moment and go to bed. We are at 99,995. 99,995 subscribers. And I'm just going to narrate. Oh, you know what I wanted to do, though. What's the quick time? Yeah. What's up?
Ouch.
Oh. See, when I watch it, it goes backwards. 99994. Watch it get to 100,000, but then dip like within that.
Why did we start recording right now? Let's just wait until like right before can we watch The Office right here?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's just talk.
Fine.
What's up? How you doing?
Good.
What
has gotten us to here?
Oh,
Kylan Johnson.
What has kept us from getting further?
That's a better question.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
What has gotten us here? We've done everything we can to like not progress.
We took an entire year off of filming, and we just watched it like grow.
That was the year it took off.
And then we were like, oh.
We took a year off, and it blew up.
Yeah, and then we were like, oh, maybe we should. Like,
it happens every time.
And I missed it so much.
Every time.
Like, it was like I didn't plan on stopping.
Every time I stop filming, we get more views.
Everything you stop posting.
Yeah, posting. And then we get a bunch of views. I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe we can use this momentum to keep it going. And then I start posting more regularly, and it just goes to nothing. It's kind of like watching this counter. It's like when we stop paying attention to it, it goes up. But then when we sit here and watch it, it's like... Anyway, do you have 6 accounts we can subscribe from real quick and get this over with? Literally 6. We're waiting for 6 people to
That's
subscribe.
crazy.
We're 6 people away from 100,000 subscribers.
So when we were trying to get 1,000 subscribers, I went to Esther Short Park in Vancouver on like, it was like a Saturday that we were like almost there. And I walked around and I asked people to subscribe to my channel. And they would like pull open their phone right there and they were doing it.
So why?
It was so
what happened?
cool. It was just so
Where
fun
did that
to
go?
like have like people engaging with me right there on the spot.
Where did that go? Where'd that passion and like desire and fire go?
It didn't go anywhere. I think I just like...
I mean, that's it left for both of us.
There's so much... There.
Like we were sharing it like crazy, asking everybody to support it, talking about it.
I know. I think it's
Where'd it
just
go?
like... I think we were just... I don't know. We were just so full of hope and like what it could be, and I don't know. I just feel like... I don't know.
So
I'm
what
so
are we
excited
now?
about it. Huh?
What are we now? Not hopeful?
Oh man, do you know what time it is? It's 11. Oh my gosh, watch it. It'll be like, we'll get...
Midnight.
Yeah,
Boom.
midnight.
Midnight. June 10th.
11.
What is the
57.
What's the date? Is the 10th, 9th, 8th? I wonder what.
So it'll technically be June 9th.
99,999. I feel like we should just...
Yeah, I'll do this tomorrow.
Alright, I got our things ready.
Oh, honey, that would have been sweet if one of us would have thought of that. I
We
had
didn't
donuts,
actually-
but we ate them already.
I don't really work for this.
Huh?
I feel like we worked for this.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was passive, and you're all like, "Oh, it's sad," but I'm like, well, we didn't try that hard. Not saying that
90
you didn't put a lot of effort and work into this. Like, that
we've
really
done-
was.
You know, I think about the first few times we went and filmed Brecky Breck.
Wow, look
And
at
like
that.
think
That's
about
crazy.
us getting ready to go and showing up at a location.
Yeah.
Like, are you nervous anymore?
No.
It's like you just show up and it's just like boom, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what makes me think we can do the documentary thing
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Is because we got that part down. That's the easy part. For
Yeah.
a lot of people, that's the hard part. That's our easy part.
Yeah. I remember the tow truck, showing up to the tow trucks,
Yeah.
and they were just like, they had
Oh man, yeah.
bags of goodies for us, like a little teddy bear, sweatshirt, a shirt, a
They're
hat.
the most prepared.
They
for
were
us.
ready.
Hey!
Whoa, there it is.
100,000.
That's crazy.
Nice.
Wow.
It happened.
It happened.
Now we can pay our bills all of a sudden.
Wow, that's crazy. Okay. June 9th, because
10th,
it's
9th, yeah. At
because it's 12:20.
12:19.
Wow.
Wow.
Crazy town.
Crazy town. That's it. Bedtime.
That's it. And wow, going from 1,000 to 100,000. When did we hit 1,000? Did it take us like 9 months?
I'll tell you. We hit 1,000.
That's crazy.
Lifetime. Look at, there's our trajectory, lifetime.
So 2022 is like when we...
So we hit 1,000 May 19th, 2019.
So we had the channel open for how long? When did we start the channel? Oh, March 19th. So May 19th. Wow.
Yeah, October, because it was the pumpkin patch.
So
Random.
you know how they send you like that square or whatever? Did you make that? A cool
No.
square for Instagram?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Well, that's cool.
That's super cool. I'm gonna take one picture.
One for the team.
One more picture. Here, babe, make a face in the...